What up, folks? It's your man Angie on Double G, hitting you with a brand spanking new top 10. That's right, we're gonna hop into another one of these videos. But before we go any further, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, a like if you will. And if you don't like it by the end of the video, hit the thumbs down. No hard feelings, right? Before we go any further, I'm gonna let you know what we're gonna do with this top 10. First, I'm gonna let you know the artist's name, when they debuted. I'm gonna give you where they're from, 3 words that actually describe their voice, at least to me, a couple of my favorite songs, and then I'm gonna top it off with one of my favorite lines and quotes from them. So yeah, let's just go hop right into this. Number 10, and that's gonna be Mr. Big Crit. He debuted in 2012. He's from Mississippi. He has this flow in his voice. It's a southern, purposeful, and confident voice. 2 of my favorite songs from him are Getaway and Learned from Texas. Now that joint, it bumps. One of my favorite lines in his songs is when he goes like, "Oh Lord, there goes the neighborhood." He has this really cool voice. If you're not familiar with Big Crit, go ahead and check him out. He produces a lot of his own music too, so that's pretty impressive. Alright, so that's number 10, Big Crit. We're gonna hop into the next one, number 9. Hopping into number 9, and number 9 is Vince Staples. He debuted in 2014 officially. He's from Long Beach, not too far from where I'm from, and he's heavily associated with the Odd Future camp. He's got this really sarcastic and throaty pause and persuasive flow and voice. 2 of my favorite joints from him is FM and Hive, which is actually an Earl Sweatshirt song, but it features him. I love when he says, "So it's raging water season. That Yampa League is Larry Johnson. Leave your mama seedless." That part is so dope, man. It's like, yo, he's giving us like double entendres, and then a basketball reference, and then a yamper, and he's talking about guns and shooting. Man, I don't know. It's pretty impressive. I don't really like to get into violence, but sometimes people can make it sound pretty cool poetically. Sounds kind of crazy, right? But anyway, that's number 9. That's Vince Staples. So we're gonna hop into number 8. Number 8 is another Odd Future affiliate. I'm talking about Damo Genesis. He debuted officially back in 2010. He's from Inglewood, California. I grew up in Inglewood too. I went to elementary in Inglewood. He's, like I said, affiliated with Odd Future, and his voice, I feel like it's complimentary to whatever track he's on. It's warm, it's convincing, and it's also got this bullying atmosphere that clouds like his voice that comes with it, I would say. Anyway, 2 of my favorite songs from him are Online and Rusty, which is I think that's another Earl Sweatshirt song. It might be a Tyler the Creator song, but it's one of those. But it has both of them, all 3 of them on there. And one of my favorite parts is when he says, "Nigga, Dom's so cool, I refer him in 3rd person." He says he's so cool himself that he calls himself cool from a 3rd person's perspective. I like also in Online when he says, "I can do it all like Thanos with the glove on." And then he also has another line in Rusty. I think he says, "We don't give a fuck, so we cannot supply your needs." I was like, oh, when I first heard that, I was like, damn, that's kind of clever. It's kind of like, it makes it sound like you're bullying the person on the microphone. But anyway, that's number 8, Damo Genesis. Let me know if you guys are fucking with these so far. Hit me in the comments below, and let me know some of your most underrated rap voices. Boom. So we're gonna hop into this next one. This next one is maybe a little bit old school, so we're gonna hop into this one. This is number 7. It's Sticky Fingers from Onyx. All right, he debuted back in '93 officially from NYC. He's got this animated voice. It's kind of scratchy, but it's very prevalent whenever he's on the track. One of my favorite joints is Live Niggas, which is from the show soundtrack that Russell Simmons put out back in 1995, which is accompanied with like a documentary that came out. You should check that out if you've never seen that. But another one of my favorite ones is Snoop Dogg's Buck 'Em, that features Sticky Fingers on the chorus only. I like when he says, "Shit, I'm wasted." He just brings that East Coast flavor to whatever track he is on. And I love another part where he says, "Every nigga look the same, but I'd rather see death row than be locked down in metal braces." Yeah, man, he sounds pretty dope whenever he's on the track. Like, it doesn't have to sound too crazy about like, he doesn't have to be too crazy with his lyricism or technicalities, but he just sounds dope. He has a dope voice. That's what we're talking about today. Some of the most underrated rap voices. So that's number 7, Sticky Fingers. Yeah, man, from Onyx, representing NYC. We're gonna hop into number 6. Alright, this is coming from one of my favorite groups. If y'all don't know, I talk about them a bunch on my channel so far. Anyway, this is number 6, Wishbone. He debuted officially around 93, 94 as Bone Enterprise, then later in 94 as Bone Thugs and Harmony, coming straight out of Cleveland, Ohio. Now Wishbone, his voice is very commanding, it's very emotional, and I feel like he's so underrated because he has one of the most catchy voices when it comes to the whole group. One of my favorite joints is No Surrender. I think he definitely has the spotlight on that song. And then another joint is from the show soundtrack too. This one's from the show soundtrack. It's called Everyday Thing Part 2. Now this is a continuation song to one of their first songs when they were underground, known as Bone Enterprise. They were like in high school or something. But anyway, Everyday Thing 2. I like the part in in Everyday Thing 2 where he says, "We'll catch us a fuck yeah, East 99 is where you find us chillin', but nigga, what's up? Nigga really wanna get fucked up." I think that's what he says, something like that. But anyway, that's Wishbone. I feel like he has one of the most underrated voices in rap, and look, he has some of the catchiest parts when it comes to Bone Thugs songs. If you really think about it, whose part do you really remember the most? It's probably Wishbone. It's probably something that Wishbone say. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that part. But anyway, that's number 6. That's Wishbone. And we're gonna hop into number 5. Number 5, numero 5 on my top 10 countdown of the most underrated rap voices. We got number 5, Freeway. I'm talking about Philly Freeway. I'm talking about the dude that debuted officially in 2003 from The Rock, ROC. I'm talking about that pain in his voice. He had that repeatability in his voice, and he also had like this indigenous thing about his voice. He really sounded like he was from Philly, and you could really feel it. One of my favorite songs ever, not just from him, but one of my favorite songs is All Right. And that was on his first album, but it was also on a soundtrack. I forgot what soundtrack it was on, but there were 2 different versions of it with him and Alan Anthony, I think his name was. But the other one, my other favorite joint is 2 Words. And one of my favorite quotes from Freeway, this is really simple, and I hope this doesn't get flagged for what I say, but he says, "Freeway slightly retarded." That's one of my favorite lines. It's not even deep or anything. It's not even that clever. It's not even crazy at all. It just sounds cool the way he says it. And I think that he has one of the most underrated rap voices ever. I'm talking about Freeway from Philly, the ROC himself. Now Freeway, I think he had some kind of disease that kind of held him back a little bit, but he's back on the scene, so check him out. If you haven't ever before heard Freeway, go listen to his voice. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And we're gonna continue on with this list. I'm talking about number 4. Number 4 might get overshadowed sometime by one of his bandmates, but we're talking about number 4, Mr. Schoolboy Q, Quincy. He debuted back in 2009. This is an LA native, Los Angeles. He's coming from the TDE camp, a member of Black History, which is the collective of prominent MCs that were on TDE at the time. Anyway, Schoolboy Q's, his voice is very versatile, it's rugged, and it's lively. He always brings like this certain energy to the track, whether it's mellow or not. And one of my favorite tracks from him is Eddie King, Groovy Tony. That track is like 2 different parts to it. It features Jadakiss too, and it also has some singers on the latter half when the beat changes. But man, that one is so dope to me. If you've never heard that, go check that out. Another one of my joints is X. That's from the Black Panther soundtrack from 2018. Anyway, one of my favorite parts is when he says, "December's been good to me, not even Kendrick can humble me." That joint was so cool to me when he said that, because that's one of his collective members, and he referenced him in the verse and referenced one of his songs that had just come out the year before, but December also, because that's when I was born, baby. But anyway, Schoolboy Q, I think he has one of the most underrated rap voices. Let me know what you think in the comments below before we go ahead and hop into number 3. Number three, debuting in 1994, coming straight out of ATL, the Dirty South, Organized Noise. I'm talking about Big Boy from Outkast. You ever try to rap along with Big Boy on that song? It's very crazy. One of my favorite songs from Big Boy, or that features Big Boy's on it, or that is Outkast's song, is Chunky Fire. I also love one of his solo tracks, which is called Orders of Operation. Now that one, if you've never heard that one, he's going off. And that one came out around, 2017? Something around there. It was one of his solo albums that came out maybe 5-6 years ago. But that one's dope. But one of my favorite lines from him is very simple. It's not even one of his more clever ones, but it's just the way it sounds. His voice is cool, so anything he says is pretty much gonna sound cool. But anyway, one of my favorite quotes is when he said, "What about these lying assholes trying to fly?" Go ahead and finish the line if you know it. Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Anyway, that's Big Boy. He's number 3 on my top 10 list of underrated rap voices. All right, we're gonna hop into number two. I'm talking about Method Man, who debuted in 1992. That's when I started kindergarten too. Revealing my age, right? This dude, he's coming straight out of NYC, coming from the Wu-Tang Clan, and his voice is very commanding, unpredictable, and very prominent. One of my favorite joints from him is The What, where it's actually Notorious Big's first album, and it features Method Man. But man, do these dudes shine on that track. And one of my other tracks that I think is super dope, where Method Man steals the spotlight because of his voice, is Tupac's track called Mind Made Up, which features Dog Pound, and also it features Redman with Method Man and Tupac on that same song. So yeah, man, one of my favorite quotes is actually from The What, where he's going back and forth with Biggie, and Biggie ends his verse, he's saying, "Don't tempt me," and Method Man takes the end of the "me" on Biggie's verse and spells out his name, "Don't tempt me," THOD, man. If you get that, man, that was so clever, man, and his voice is so cool, man. Like, every time he hops on the track, you're like, oh, that's Method Man. Some people like to confuse him with Redman, but I understand how that happens sometimes. But they sound distinctly different. Method Man, though, one of the most underrated voices in rap, hip-hop, ever. That's number 2 on my list. But before we go into this next one, the top of the list, top of the morning. Anyway, this one, y'all probably not even gonna guess it. So hit the like or hit the unlike, whatever it is. Go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and hop into my number 1 on this list. Number 1 on the top 10 most underrated rap voices. It's my man. He's coming straight out of Miami. Ooh, if you know what that is. He first debuted with the reggaeton style. I'm talking about Pitbull. He has this raspy voice, but it also has this piercing clarity, and it's super energetic every time. I'm talking about the man behind the song Kulo and Toma. Yo, it has that coolie dance rhythm, that dale up in there. That's just one of my favorite quotes. You could just end the verse. You don't even have to say nothing, Pitbull. You don't have to rap a full verse. Just drop a dale in there. That should be fire, man. Every time. I think Pitbull has the most underrated voice in hip-hop and rap. If you don't think so, let me know in the comments below. We're gonna get into something, all right? Let me know who's some of your favorite and who is one of your most underrated voices in rap, hip-hop. Let me know. We're gonna get into it, yo. I appreciate you sticking with me through this video, and we're gonna crack it off with some more of these. And go ahead and hit the like. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, aka X, and go ahead and hit the link below, because I got some of these sweaters in there. I don't know why. I never told y'all before. If you want to support the channel, go ahead. You could cop one of these sweaters. It's gonna be pinned to the top comment below. I appreciate your love, attention, and I appreciate your support. We're gonna hop into some more videos. It's Angie on Double G, us the folks, like we said before. And it's been another top 10, the top 10 most underrated rap voices. Number 1, Mr. Pitbull. If you don't agree with that, let me know in the comments below. I'll see y'all later. We out of here. Peace. And my motherfucking picture fell down. Goddamn. I caught it though. I caught it like motherfucking Spider-Man. I caught the picture when it fell. You don't even know.